Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing working on the Crochet Cafe booklet that I got from Amazon. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, I'm trying to wrap up these last few bits from this book. I am making a little special present for my goddaughter. So far we've done breakfast, we've done lunch, we've done dinner, and the last two bits are dessert and snack. So you can pretty much see everything that's in here on this booklet. We have the stuff that I mentioned doing, but today we're going to do dessert, and we're going to be making these really cute pies. So I'm just gonna make one of them. You know, she's only 2, so she don't need no 2 pies. But anyway, I love this book. I'm going to leave the link, the Amazon link, in the description box below. I highly recommend getting it. This video is meant to supplement the instructions. So if you want to make any of these, I highly suggest that you get the booklet. All right, so let's flip to the page that we're going to be doing, because they always have an image here. Look at that. So I'm going to be doing the blue one. You can make a blue one or a red one, but you know, with these instructions you can always change colors, so you don't have to stick with it. So for the recommended size hook, you need a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. I actually don't have that size. I'm going to be using a 3.5 millimeter hook. And along the way we will need other materials that I'll be calling out, but yeah, I'm using my own stuff, so my project might be smaller than yours. At any rate, okay, so I'm just gonna set this one aside. Now for this video I do go over new stitches at least 3 times step by step. And then of course I go through the instructions as well. If there's any thing that seems a little confusing, then of course I will go through it and hopefully be able to help you guys out. Alright, so let's get straight into it. We're gonna need our gray yarn, so let me get that out. Gotta find the other end here. Alright, so and then we're going to be doing the magic ring, and of course we're starting off with a knot. Alright, so to do the magic ring, you're going to take your end piece of your yarn here, and we're going to wrap it around our finger about 3 times. With a little bit of overage like this, so that we can take our middle finger and just place it down there. You can straighten out your strands of yarn. I'm going to take the hook and slip it under the 3 strands like this. Then I'm going to take this yarn, this strand here, and pull it underneath these 2. So we'll do that now. See, I'm twisting my hook head so I can slip under here. Then we're going to do a yarn over, which is basically putting this yarn over the hook. So you want to yarn over, and then we're going to pull this strand through this loop like this. Well, make sure you clear it. You want to make sure you grab every bit of your yarn. You don't want to accidentally pierce it in half. That's gonna, you know, make it look not that great. And then when you try to do stitches or take it apart, it's going to be difficult to do that. But anyway, from this point now you can let go of your middle finger. You can remove the loops off your index finger, and then we're going to do our single crochet stitches. So I'm going to show you how to do that. To do a single crochet stitch, stick your hook into these 2 loops like this. Then we're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 2 loops onto your hook. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. It has 2 loops on each side of the top stitch. Here's one loop, here's the other. Let's do another one. So stick your hook into the 2 loops. We're going to yarn over, you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. You look on it on the top, it has 2 loops on the top stitch here, one here, one here. It looks like it's starting to look like a French braid. Alright, so let me show you guys how to do this one more time. Into the next stitch, put into the 2 loops, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches. Top view, you have your little French braid here. Each braid has 2 loops. And we're just going to continue making the rest of the single crochet stitches. So after we do this, I'm going to show you how to close the magic ring. And that's why they call it magic, because first you see it, then you don't. Alright, so now that we've completed the single crochet stitches, what we're going to do now is close this hole up by pulling on this excess piece. But what we need to do first is see which one of these 2 loops go in. So we're going to pull this excess piece and just watch to see which loop moves in first. So we'll pull this. Alright, and as you see, this loop here is the one that's going in. What you want to do is pull this lower part out of that loop. Don't pull it on this side, pull it on down here. So we're just going to have to use our nails or whatever and pull out that lower end. You're going to start seeing this loop disappear, which is exactly what we need. So keep pulling that lower end until that other loop is completely gone into the magic ring. And once you get there, you might still have a little hole. We're going to now pull this excess piece and make this loop disappear. Alright, and just for an extra little bit you can pull, we're going to pull in the opposite direction and a little up, like that. And then now your hole is completely closed. So from here, what you're going to have to get is these markers. You can buy these in packs online or in a hobby store. They're only a few dollars and they're lifesavers. These will help you keep track of how many stitches you have, how many rows you're doing. So I would go in here and I always slip this little pointy end underneath the braid of the last stitch we made. So you want to slip it under those both loops, and you want to make sure you don't pierce it. So you can pull, if you see a clear hole, that means you got it right where you need it. You want to make sure you never pierce your yarn. It just makes things difficult down the road. Alright, so now that we're here, we can go on to the second round. Alright, let me gather up some yarn. Okay, we're going to do round 2, and that requires a new stitch. We're going to show you guys how to do an increasing stitch. All right, this looks like this is going to be the biggest item that I've made so far in this booklet. After I do the dessert and the snack, I am going to take a break from this book. There's so much more, but I have many more projects that I would love to show you. Just not enough days out of the week to do that. So, but we can always revisit the booklet for anyone that ends up getting the booklet and needs help with any of the projects in here. Alright, so we're going to do an increasing stitch. What you want to do after the first round, because it might be difficult to see, is where to put your needle. So one trick is you can use your marker to count back the number of stitches that that row required, and then stick your hook into that last one. So I'm going to stick my hook into the last stitch that it was asking for, and I'm going to show you how to do an increasing stitch. So an increasing stitch is basically putting 2 single crochet stitches in this one stitch. So we're going to yarn over, you're going to pull through the loop, okay, then you have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. So we have 1 single crochet stitch. We have to go back in that same stitch we just used, and we're going to do 1 more single crochet stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So I don't know if you can see this, but we have 2 single crochet stitches coming out of that one. I'll show you this again. Put your hook into the next stitch. We're going to put 2 single crochet stitches in here, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then into that same stitch put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet stitches, and we only used 2 stitches from the previous round. Let me show you guys this one more time. Stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to put 2 single crochet stitches in each stitch. So 1 and 2. So now we have 6 single crochet stitches. We used 3 stitches from the previous round, and now we just have to finish the rest of the stitches. So do that. All right, so you should end up where your marker is, right here. And once you've completed your stitches, you can remove the marker and put it under the last stitch we made. So again, you want to slip that marker underneath the braid, and you want to make sure you clear the yarn and don't pierce it. All right, so now we can do round 3. So for round 3, we're going to alternate single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. So let's do that. All right, then I'm going to remove the marker, and we're going to put this under the last stitch we made, underneath the braid, clearing the loops. Okay, then we're going to do round 4, and then again we're going to be doing alternating increasing stitches with single crochet stitches. Oh, and I think I already screwed up. Yeah. All right. Did my counts wrong. Going back. This is what you would do if you did the same thing. And it's an important reason why you don't want to pierce the yarn, because it's easier to undo if everything is nice and clean. So I just gotta redo some of this because I stopped counting for some reason. I get so lost in, this is like the thing I do when I just zone out, and then I think about things I have to do today, tomorrow, this week, next month, whatever, some issues even. I mean, this is my therapy session, and I totally, just, I'm getting lost. I'm actually not focused today, to be quite honest, but the world doesn't stop, so I have to keep going. I'll take my break when I take my break. Lunchtime maybe? I don't know. Yeah, but I find this so relaxing. Today, maybe it's too relaxing because I'm not even getting my counts right. Alright. Comment below. Let me know if this crochet bit is just, a nice relaxer for you. This has always been my safe space. And you can make something out of it. I've made plenty of scarves back in the day. So clearly I had a lot of thoughts that I had to deal with back then. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to replace this under the last stitch we made, and we're going to move on to the round 5, and again alternating single crochet stitches and increasing stitches. And it looks like we're going to keep doing that bit for round 5, round 6, round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10, 11. Okay, till round 11. So let's get this on here. And this is because we are increasing this in size. So if you ever wanted to make a coaster, those are great gifts, by the way. Use cotton, don't use acrylic, anything that could melt, because you know that when heat touches stuff like that, it's not a good material to use. But cotton's great, and then you can make, just use this instruction to make coasters, and you can gift them. Sometimes money wasn't always just free for me to spend, so I definitely, like I said, I made a ton of scarves, so I gift scarves, and I even gift scarves in the summer, because you're gonna need it in the winter, so I might as well give it to you now than during Christmas, and then winter's practically, well, not over these days, but sometimes. But yeah, so, and then you can interchange your colors. Learning how to crochet is an excellent skill. It just, when I was learning, it was a little like, oh, what are you, a grandmother, like kind of type deal. But nowadays, crafts, handmade crafts are where it's at. So yokes on that, because they're going out buying whatever, and we're here just using up a spool of yarn that we've had for 3 years. No, I don't know. But the gift may be free, but it's made with the heart, so that's priceless. Click the like if you agree. My favorite gift to make is a wine sweater. It looks like a sweater, but it's made for a wine bottle, and that's like probably the funnest gift I always I give to people, and they just enjoy it. They think it's hilarious, and obviously, you pack it in a bottle of wine, and who can't say no to wine? I mean, well, if you can't drink it. But all right, last stitch. Put the marker in. I'm going to gather up some more yarn here. When I was a kid, bracelets, friendship bracelets, use embroidery floss. They come in a bajillion colors, as you know. And comment below if you actually did friendship bracelets, because those take forever. Knotting those things up, they're fun, they're beautiful, they're nice. You can change the colors, but doing simple chains to make a bracelet, ooh, that was a super quick project. Quick gifts. Alright, I went a little crazy with the yarn here, but that's fine. I hate having to go get more yarn, and I don't do it like the normal way. I don't do contraptions. I just do this very dainty and elegant way. Oh well. Alright. Next, round 6. Alternating increasing stitches with single crochet stitches. Okay, last stitch we made. Round 7, alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. Yikes. Okay, last stitch we made. And then we're going to do round 8, which is alternating again, increasing stitches with single crochet stitches. Ugh. Okay, I don't know, I think I pulled my back or something this morning when I was running. It just is so painful to sit, everything. All right. All right, remove the marker, place under the last stitch we made. And then we're going to do round 9. Again, alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. last stitch we made. And then we're gonna do row 10, and again increasing stitch, alternating to single crochet stitches. Okay, round 11, alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. Oh my gosh. I was in the zone. I stopped counting. All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, jeez. 3, 6, 9. Woof. I was counting and then I realized I was in the teens. Oh my gosh. Let's get more yarn. Last stitch we made. All right, so this is pretty big. This is how big the pie is going to be, so look out. All right, now we're going to be on round 12, and we're going to be using the back loop only, and we're going to be alternating single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. So In the beginning, when I showed you what comprises of a single crochet stitch, we talked about the top view and how there's 2 loops per stitch. Okay, so if we're facing our project this way, it's easy to label this as the front loop and this one here as the back loop. So for every stitch on this project here, this will be considered the front loops and this will be considered the back loops. So we'll be working in the back loops only. And when you do something like this, it's intended for your project to make a natural fold, and you're going to see that when we start building this. So if you ever wanted to do a container cozy, you know, a mug cozy or whatever, and you do something like this, you can easily change the direction of the project by using back loops only. So let me show you how to do this. When we stick our hook, we're going to come in between the stitch. So if this is the front loop, this is the back loop, we're going to go in between, and you want to stick your hook in the back loop like that, and then you can do whatever stitch you're supposed to do. So in this case, we'll do our single crochet stitch, and then when you're done with that, you're going to see that the back loop has been used and the front loop is just left alone here, and that's what you want to see. So let's show you how to do this again. So into the next stitch, we're going to split it in half and stick the hook into the back loop only, and there's the front loop just chilling. We're going to do our single crochet stitch, and so now we have 2 front loops hanging out. Let me show you how to do this one more time. Into the next stitch, we're going to go in between the front and back loops. We're going to stick our hook into the back loop, and we're going to do our single crochet stitch. So now we have our 3 single crochet stitches in the back loop only, and then we have our 3 front loops just hanging out. All right, so we're going to alternate single crochet stitches with increasing stitches. Did it again. Last stitch we made. Alright, so let me show you what all of this looks like here. So you can kind of faintly see the front loops all just chilling here. As we do rounds 13 through 18, you're going to start noticing the piece turn in on itself, and conveniently where we have our front loops, it's going to automatically bend. So you'll start to see like a lid, and then the more rows you do, it'll start looking like a container. So in saying that though, for rounds 13 through 18, I'm going to get some markers for that. So we have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So for the next markers, we're doing all the same stitch, and so that I don't lose track of what round I'm in, I just know that I have to use up all these markers before I'm done. And then we'll come back in, we have to fasten off the gray, and then we're going to continue on with the next steps, but I am going to be doing this in silence. Okay, so I finished the last round and it says we have to fasten off and weave the ends. So I'm going to take my scissor and we're just going to cut about 1 inch or so. Let's move this aside. And then I'm going to fasten off, and how you do that is we just yarn over. We're going to pull this through the loop and all the way out. So pull it all the way out. And then I'm going to tighten this up here by just pulling on it. And I'm going to remove the markers here. So if you didn't see yet, the back loop only has kind of naturally curved or changed the direction of our project, so it was able to build up the walls. Set these aside, and then to weave it, just go in and out of these stitches and pull that excess piece in and out of it like this until it's all gone. And if anything, you want it to end up on the inside, that way we can hide that excess piece if it's sticking out. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now, next we have to put on the safety eyes. Because this is going to a 2-year-old, I'm not gonna do the safety eyes. I'm gonna sew on the eyes. So I'm just gonna grab some yarn, some embroidery floss that I got off of Amazon, and I want it to kind of match the blue. So with that, and we are gonna sew up the eyes on here. I don't have black. I mean, I think I was cleaning up and I saw some black, but I don't know if it'll be enough. But I'm just trying to find the end piece here. Okay. And this is we're already an hour in, so I think I'm going to do the blueberry part, and then we'll just have to come in for the crust and everything. So this is going to be a 2-part video, I think. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my my needle, and I've collected a bunch of needles too over the kits that I've made or that I've done. So my plastic needle here. Thread this up, and it says that we have to place the eyes in between rounds 15 and 16 and about 4 inches apart. So you would go here, find like the prettier side to do this. Right, so I'm just gonna pick this side here. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we gotta do it between here. I'm gonna stick my needle between the 15 and 16 rows, and I'm gonna leave some excess to tie with later. I'm gonna make it about an inch, a stitch wide, the eye. And because I'm using embroidery floss, I'm going to have to make several passes of this to make the eye big enough. So keep doing this as many times as you need to get that eye the size that you want it to. You could essentially use yarn instead if you really wanted to, because it is thicker. So sewing the eye will be a lot faster. The only thing is that when we do the mouth, you can either split the threading on the yarn, but I feel like the embroidery floss will be the better way to go. Alright, so we're gonna have to have 4 stitches in between, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to try to make the same size eye. It'll help if you keep track of how many passes you make for the first eye, but I keep, for the life of me, forgetting to count how many passes I do. So I'm just going to have to guess and just size up these eyes together. Okay, and then we have to put in the mouth. It looks like the mouth is on the kind of on the same level. So let's see here. I'm going to go in here, and then we're gonna come over here. Now I want to leave a little loop because we have to have this kind of catch the loop to make that dip in the smile. And we're going to come back in where we came from. So we have that dip in our smile, and then I'm going to take that excess piece to tie around twice to secure the embroidery floss in place, and then I'm going to cut this off. Oh, and this thing has some felt cheeks, so I don't have felt that color at least, so I'm just going to take the pink. So let's come back with the pink. All right. So, we're just gonna kind of guess where the cheeks are gonna go. And I'm gonna, again, leave a little excess to sew. And then we're gonna go a stitch wide and make our cheeks. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go to the other side and make that cheek. Uh-oh. I think I stuck my needle. Oh no. Crisis averted. Alright. Then once I'm done, I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to take that excess piece and we're going to sew. We're going to tie these two together. Okay. So here we have our smiley face. So let me just check real quick. I know I said I was going to do the blueberry part, but I gotta see how much more of this we have. This video is already at an hour 20 maybe. So, alright, maybe we can just keep on going with the blueberry, and then, because if it's not on here, it's going to be on the part 2 with making all of the crust parts. So, I think either way, we're going to be here for a while. Alright, you guys, so let's go into the next step. We can put the tray aside, or the pan, pie pan. I'm gonna go get some blue. Right here. And we're gonna start off with a magic ring. So you want to wrap this around your finger 3 times with a little bit of overage to put your middle finger on it like that. We can straighten out the strands. Slip the hook underneath the strands. We're going to pull this strand underneath these two with the hook like this. Then we're going to overhang. We're going to yarn over and pull this strand through the loop. And now we can let go of our middle finger and then slip the loops off of the index. Alright. So now we're going to do the required single crochet stitches. So I've already shown you guys how to do these, but we're just going to throw them up onto this magic ring, and then I'm going to show you how to close it. Okay, and once we have that, we're going to start closing this ring. We're going to pull this excess piece and watch which loop goes in first. Once we've identified which loop goes in first, we're going to stop pulling and move on to the next steps. Alright, so the one back here was the one moving. We're going to pull out this lower end, not the top end, the lower end. So pull that out. You're going to see the other loop disappear, which is exactly what we want. Keep pulling till that piece is completely inside the magic ring. And then once we get to that point, you can then pull this excess piece for the other loop to disappear into the magic ring. And then you can always pull just a little bit more. So we're going to pull in the opposite direction and a little up, and you're going to feel it pull a little bit. You don't have to pull it too hard. And then we've closed off our magic ring. So now I'm going to take a marker, and I'm going to slip that underneath the last stitch we made, and then we can move on to the next round. So for the next round, again, we're going to be doing an increasing stitch. So after the first round, it gets a little tough to see where you're putting your stitch, so count back from the marker the number of stitches you're supposed to have for this round, and we're going to stick our hook into that stitch, and we're going to start our increasing stitches. Alright, so we just do we just complete this one, and then we're gonna see what's next for round 3. Alright, so from here, we're going to remove the marker and place it in the last stitch we made. Now, for rounds 3 through 12, we are going to repeat the same increasing stitches and alternating with the single crochet stitches, just like we did with the pan. And then when we reach the 12th round, I'm going to come in. I'm not going to complete the last single crochet stitch because I want to show you how I transition from the blue to the tan. So we are going to be doing all of this in silence. Alright, so I finished the blue. We're on round 12. We have one more single crochet stitch to do, but we're going to transition to the tan color. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So we're going to take our tan, and you're going to, with your ring, pinky, and thumb, hold one end, and then on the other you're going to do your index and your middle finger. Actually, let me go grab this hook. It's not going to work without the hook. Alright, so I'm going to pull on this loop and make it extra long, just so we don't lose the stitch. Okay, just in case we don't lose. So I'm going to pinch this tight, and I'm going to leave this kind of loose. What we're going to do is take our hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn, and then with the hook we're going to go down, out, and around to get this loop around the hook. You'll be able to slide the hook up and down. We want to slide it towards the thumb, and then take your middle finger and just hold it where it crosses. So then we can remove our left hand, get some yarn around our feeder finger. We're going to pinch the end again, and now we have just a little bit more to slide down this hook, so let's do that now. And where it crosses, you just want to pinch with your thumb and middle finger. So now your hook can no longer move up and down. What we're going to do now is you're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through the loop like that, and then I'm going to overhand my hook like this. I'm going to repinch the end, and we're going to push this knot towards the left thumb, and as we're pushing it, the knot is going to get tighter, and you want to keep pushing it down until it can no longer move. All right, when we get to that point, we can take our thumb and our middle finger on our left hand and just pull this excess piece a little bit more. You'll be able to feel a little give, and then it'll stop. You don't have to pull it so hard, but we just want to make sure that this knot is nice and snug. So now I'm going to take this knot, and I'm going to slide it up towards the hook, and I'm going to make sure to leave some space because we're going to slip this off our hook. We're going to set this aside, try not to lose it. What we're going to do now is put our hook back into that large loop we made, and then tighten it up with the feeder yarn. And we're going to complete our last single crochet stitch. So start by putting your hook into the last stitch. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So now we have 2 loops on our hook. Now you're going to take the feeder yarn, and you're just going to hold it back with your ring finger. Just keep it back there out of the way. Now we're going to slip on the tan color that we made. You can hold this down with your middle finger while you grab some yarn around your feeder finger. We're going to pull this tan through the 2 blue loops. Alright, so now we've completed the last stitch there. I'm going to replace my marker right here, and we've transitioned to the tan. So what we're going to do back here, because we don't need the blue anymore, I'm going to cut about 1 inch or so, and then we're going to tie this around the tan. This is going to keep from losing stitches, and I'm going to tie it not too tightly but not too loose either. Okay, and then we can continue on with the next steps. So for round 13, this one's going to be pretty easy. I'm going to do it in silence. It's just doing single crochet stitches all the way around. Right, so let me just gather up some yarn here, and then we're going to continue in silence. Alright you guys, so we've completed round 13. For 14, we are doing something a little different now. Instead of the front back loop, we're going to use the front loop only. So we are going to be doing some craziness, which is going to make the crust of our pie, and we're only using the front loops. So whereas before we were sticking it in between and through the back loop, we are no longer doing. We are going to come up from underneath, going through the front loop only, like that. So the front loop is chilling around the hook, and then the back loop is just chilling by itself in the back. So once we're here, let's see what stitches we have to do. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch. So front loop only, we'll do our single crochet stitch like we've been doing this whole entire time, right? Then we are going to be doing 3 stitches in the next front loop only. So come up from underneath, we're going to go through the front loop only. Oops. Front loop only. Okay, so we're right here. Back loop is by itself. Oh, let's take it out. We're going to do a half double crochet stitch. I didn't show you guys how to do a half double crochet stitch yet. So to start a half double crochet stitch, HDC, we're going to yarn over. Then we're going to stick our hook into the front loop only of the next stitch. Back loop is just chilling there. We're going to yarn over, you're going to pull up a loop, and then we're going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. And that's a half double crochet stitch. Then we're going to do a double crochet stitch. So yarn over, we're going to stick our hook into that same front loop. Like I said, this front loop is going to have 3 stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over again, you're going to pull through 2, and then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through 2 more. And that's a double crochet stitch. Now we're going to go back and do the last of the 3 stitches in this front loop, and it's going to be a half double crochet stitch. So yarn over into the front loop only, the same loop we've been using. We're going to yarn over, you're going to pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So for this front loop only, we did a half double crochet stitch, a double crochet stitch, and a half double crochet stitch. So now we can go back to the next stitch, front loop only, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. All right, so that's basically what we're doing to get the ridges of the crust. So we're basically going to repeat this as many times as we need to go all the way around. I'm going to do 2 more of these with you guys. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, front loop only, right? We're going to do a single crochet stitch. Then in the next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, we're going to put our hook into the front loop only of the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do a double crochet stitch. So yarn over, put your hook in that same front loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to do a half double crochet stitch again. So yarn over, into that same front loop, we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And then after that, we're going to go into the next stitch, front loop only, and do our single crochet stitch. All right, so you can see now that it's forming this undulate shape. We're going to do this one more time with you guys. So into the next stitch, front loop only, do a single crochet stitch. Then in the next stitch, we're going to yarn over, do a half double crochet stitch, stick your hook into the front loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do a double crochet stitch, yarn over into the same loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then we're going to do one more half double crochet stitch in the same stitch we've used, front loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And then into the next stitch, front loop only, we're going to do our single crochet stitch. Alright, so that's basically the pattern. We're going to do this all the way around, and then we're going to fasten off, but I'm going to come back in and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we finished doing the top of this pie. We're gonna fasten this off. It says to leave an extra long tail for sewing. So what I always like to do is make the circumference times 2. So I'm gonna wrap the feeder yarn around this pie 2 times, and that should ensure that I'll be able to sew all of this and have enough yarn to do it. But this video, I don't even know how long it is at this point, but we are going to break this down into a 2-part video. Next time we're going to be completing all the extra pieces. We're gonna, I guess, sew this on and stuff in the next video. We're gonna make the extra pieces. There are multiple pieces. I'm gonna be showing at least an example of each one, and then I'm gonna do however number of those off camera for the sake of time. We're gonna sew this on. We're gonna assemble the pie together. Let's see what else we've got here. And we're stuffing it. This is gonna take a lot of stuffing, you guys. So maybe till then you'll be able, well, this is gonna be posted one day after the other, but yeah, maybe you'll be able to get a prime order for the 32-ounce stuffing that I got. I didn't realize how much 32 ounces of stuffing was until I received a huge bag of it when it delivered. So I'm not hating, because I do a lot of these for you guys, and having more, I can make a dozen pies if I wanted. But anyway, I probably have more stuffing than I do yarn to make 12 pies. Okay, so to fasten off, like we did before, we're just gonna yarn over and we're gonna pull through the loop all the way out. So pull this all the way out and close this up. We're gonna set this aside, and so we have our 2 parts. Where's the other one? Here. Okay, so we have the pan and we have the top of the pie. So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Click on that notification bell so you don't miss part 2. Comment below what you think of this booklet. If you have it, do you intend on getting it? Again, I have the link in the description box below. I really enjoy this book. The instructions are pretty clear. There is a little nuances about it that I have not seen in other kits that I had to kind of figure it out. So hopefully I show that in the videos clearly. But anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.